afternoon. Good afternoon. I got to tell you, it is great to be here with the President of the United States and these wonderful governors from the rest of New England here today. I want to thank Governors Patrick, Chafee, and Shumlin for joining us here today. The governors of New England stand united in working for working families and a working wage. I want to thank Secretary Perez for joining us. This is his second visit to Connecticut in just over a week's time. It's great to have him back. We could not have a stronger advocate in Washington on labor issues than this Secretary. Thank you very much for being with us. I know that our congressional delegation, our senators and Congress people are here. I don't know exactly where they are. I want to thank them for the work that they do on our behalf. There they are. If they seem happier than they usually are, it's because they had a special ride on a plane today back to Connecticut. So I want to thank all of our constitutional officers and legislative leaders as well for being here, some of our mayors and presidents of some of our colleges, and I particularly want to point out the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Connecticut, Nancy Wyman. Over lunch, I told the President that I have the best friend and ally as a Lieutenant Governor who, well, I shouldn't say single-handedly, but almost single-handedly made sure that Connecticut is the leading state in implementing Obamacare. We've already met our numbers for March 31st. To you, the students of Central Connecticut, I want to thank you for being here and say what a great college, one of our oldest colleges in the state of Connecticut, Central. My brother Brian, my brother Carrie, my sister-in-law Tina, and my sister-in-law Pat are all graduates of Central Connecticut and went on to distinguished teaching careers in the state of Connecticut. And let me say, as I look around this room, I don't see anyone waving a white flag. Bobby Jindal didn't make it to Connecticut. But we had a conversation, Bobby and I did, about what's good for America. I absolutely believe, as you do, that if you work 40 hours a week, you should not be living in poverty in Connecticut or in any of the 50 states of America. There is a time to lead and there is a time to follow. I will follow this president on the great policies that he has put forward. But New England needs to lead on this issue. We need to make sure that women move out of poverty, that young people move out of poverty, that they can raise their families, that they can aspire on behalf of their children. They deserve a decent wage, and we're going to give it to them here in Connecticut. Let's be very clear. $10.10 adjusted for inflation is what we were paying in 1968. And I got to tell you, we're all worth at least as much as we were in 1968. So let's make it very clear that New England and Connecticut and the states represented here and other states in the nation, we get it. A rising tide should raise all boats. We have to make sure our fellow citizens can raise their children the way they want to raise them, that they have a decent wage, that they make sure that they go to great schools, that they're safe. And all of these issues and so many more have been worked on by this president, who has done an outstanding job for all of us in this room and in the state of Connecticut. So as we pull together and as we work together, as we hope and pray together, let us make sure that we do the job. Or as my mother used to say to me every day that we shared this earth together, we collectively have an obligation to leave this world a better place for our having been here and lived in it. If we live that mission, each and every one of us individually, then we will also be following the example of our next guest, the President of the United States, Barack Obama.